Hi friends, welcome to the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby, and I am coming to you from southeastern New Brunswick, Canada. Today is Sunday, January the 4th, 2026, and you're watching episode 131. This is a podcast mostly about my knitting adventures. Sometimes there's some crochet in there and there's some spinning. Today it is all knitting, and yeah. You can find me on Instagram, where I am most active as Inspired Knitting Podcast. And you can also find me over on Ravelry as X Country Girl 1986X. I will have all that listed in the description box below, as well as any show notes. So if I talk about any designers today, I always link you directly to them rather than my project pages, because my project pages are pretty much... there's not much information on them. It's pretty much just for my own portfolio, shall we say. So I always link you directly to any designers that I talk about. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. I think it's been 3 weeks since my last podcast, I believe, because I took a week off, I think, for Christmas. So, to start off, I have some finished objects, I have some works in progress, and then I have some stash enhancement. So to start off with finished objects, I'm going to insert some pictures, which I will do right here. So I finished 2 pairs of socks just before Christmas. They were for commission for market. So the first pair is Black Light Unicorn, which is by Gobsmacked Yarns. And then the second pair is, the gray pair is Pewter by Lichen and Lace. Both are located in Sackville, New Brunswick, Canada. They're both my favorite dyers. I love them both. But these were a pair of commissioned socks, both pairs. So I did finish those. Those never got shown on the podcast, so I thought I would just put them here so you guys could see them. So I did those, and then I finished this pair. This was a Christmas gift, and I did manage to get them done in time. Literally on Christmas Day I finished them, though. You guys did see these before. I do not have a designer or a dyer name for you. I had purchased this off of Facebook Marketplace from a lady in Halifax that dyed the yarn, but she doesn't have a name, like a company name or anything. So I unfortunately cannot tell you who dyed the yarn, but it is very, very beautiful. I absolutely loved how it worked up. And it did come with the contrasting mini skeins, so I did my heel and my toe in the contrast. And it's just so beautiful. I believe it was a 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon base. And it's so, so soft. Absolutely love these. So I did those. And then I did these right after Christmas. I did not have these done for Christmas either. Those 2 pairs of commissioned socks took me a minute. They were for size 13 foot, so I'm not used to doing a foot that big, so those took me a minute, and that was just right before Christmas, and they were for Christmas, so I had to like snap them out pretty quick, and I'm very happy that I did. But it put these 2 pairs of socks kind of like on the back burner. So my Advent socks unfortunately did not get finished until, oh my gosh, it was well after Christmas. But that's okay, they got done. So this is my Cozy Knitter 2025 Advent skein, and here they are. So I did get the contrast white, which I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it's got the gold stellina in it. I think you can see it there a bit. So I could use that for my cuffs and my heels. And this is the full 24 stripe repeat. And here is the second one. The only thing I do not like is that it ended on the dark green where it starts, where this sock, it was perfect. this sock was perfect. This one, it didn't end up that way, but that's okay. That is okay. It is what it is. They are very beautiful socks, and I love them. This is the first time that I ever did the Cozy Knitter advent, so I'm very happy with it. They turned out beautiful. I love the colors, especially like the purples and the pinks here. This is like my favorite, absolute favorite. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I love it. So I don't know, maybe I'll do it again. So there's my advent socks, the Cozy Knitter. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my finished objects. But I am happy to announce that I did make my goal of 52 pairs of socks for 2025. So the advent socks were pair 52, I believe, because these were the last ones that I finished. So it was not a goal that I had started with at the beginning of 2025 at all. I had no intentions of knitting so many socks. It's just that as the year progressed and I started to see that number go higher, I don't even think I've ever knit that many socks in a year before. So when I saw that number climbing closer, I decided on the number 52, because then that would average out to a pair of socks per week. So that's kind of where I got the 52 from. So I did manage it, and I am so happy that I did. It was really, really cool just to have that kind of accomplishment. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And watching Crazy Sock Lady and Lisa of 72 Stitches, oh my god, they're so inspiring with their socks. Crazy Sock Lady, I believe, hit 57 pairs or 58, and Lisa ended up doing 84 or 85. Like, that is just phenomenal. It's mind-blowing. So it's been a lot of fun to watch them and be inspired with the socks. I just love knitting socks, so it fits. But I'm so excited to say that I actually reached that goal. So moving on into works in progress, I have a hoe to show you. So this one I did start in 2025, but I did not finish it. This is my, I'm not going to put it on a blocker. This is my Area 51 fibers. And for this one, this is DK. This is on her Fancy Smancy DK. And I ended up, sorry, I didn't bring the tag with me and I'm trying to remember the names. I did get a contrast 20 gram mini of DK from her. This is Mary Berry. So I did 15 rows of 2x2 ribbing for the cuff. And I did a slip stitch heel flap in the heel. And the main color is called I'm Here for the Roast Beast colorway, which was one of her Christmas colorways. And this is the yarn that I was talking about that I was waiting for from Dragonfly, and after 4 attempts, it finally came just before Christmas. What a Christmas gift. Finally it came. But I will not go back on another Dragonfly rant today, but I'm very happy that the yarn did show up finally, because it is really pretty. So I have yet to start the second sock. I still have to cast it on, but I'm really happy with sock number 1. It looks really pretty. So I got that one. And then the next pair I have to share with you, I also started last year, but I never got to work on it. It is in Drops Fiesta. And the Drops Fiesta is, they come in 50 gram balls, so I got 2 balls of each color, because for me and my gauge, I definitely need 2 balls. 1 sock will come from 1 ball, excuse me. It is a 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and it is in the color number 20. It's just these really pretty grays and greens, and there's a pop of blue in there too. Very pretty. And I have started, and it is a fingering weight yarn. It's a very plump fingering weight yarn. I always cake them up in case there's, I prefer working from a cake than the ball, just in case there's a tangle inside or something. But here is the beginning of my sock. And I love how it started off with the gray, and the gray ended up, I think I did 15 rows. Yeah, I did 15 rows for my cuff, and it's kind of amazing how the gray kind of like ended at that. I only have, I think, 1 row of plain knitting that was in the gray, so it kind of like worked out perfectly. I love when that happens. And then you can kind of see the rest of the colors there. Really love how it's turning out. Like I said, it's a little bit plumper, but it's super warm. The Drops Fiesta definitely has that feel of a, say an opal or a regia, but maybe a little bit softer, maybe. It's my first time working with it. I've worked with Drops yarn before, but I don't think I've ever worked with the Fiesta, not that I can remember. So, and if you watched my last episode, you'll see that I kind of did a haul of Drops yarn. So I have 4 other colors, and yeah, they're all going to be socks, of course. Of course. All right. So the next one that I have to share with you, I actually can say that it is my first sock of 2025 that I casted on. And I just grabbed the tag here. I think I got this yarn from Galt House of Yarn in Cambridge, Ontario. I did an online order, and I don't believe that I shared it with you guys because I didn't podcast, but I got this yarn from them, Full Moon Fibers. Full Moon Fibers is a Canadian yarn dyer from Barrie, Ontario. And this is on their Solar Sock base, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it is 420 yards, and the colorway is called Fancy Balls. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is one of their Christmas colorways or not, so I'm not sure if you would still be able to get it, but it is a super pretty colorway. So I have a yarn cozy on it currently, but here's the yarn. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just so pretty. So I'm just going to put it back in my bag here quickly. I haven't gotten far on it. All I have is a cuff. That's all. It is fingering weight. So I've got 20 rows of a 2x2 ribbing here for the cuff. And I literally just did 1 row of plain knitting. But I have those started as well. I caked the yarn up pretty much as soon as the yarn came in, and it was sitting there staring at me for a few days, and I gave in. I just had to get it started. So there's that. And then that's it for the socks right now. The next thing I'm going to share with you is my Musselburgh. Now, this project you guys have seen before. It's been on the go for a little while now. But just in case you're new and you haven't seen it before, this is Gobsmacked Yarns. And I am using one of her gradients, and it is on her Tough Yak fingering, 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon, and it is 100 grams and 438 yards. And the colorway is called Batten Down the Hatches. And I literally only have that much left of it. And I am now into the decreases. So here's what I have. So you can see it started off with this beautiful green, and now you're starting to see that pretty blue really come into it. So I am doing the adult large in the pattern. This is fingering weight. And I am knitting this on a 2mm, which seems pretty small, but with my gauge tends to be loose. It's what I prefer. It's what I like. So that's what I'm using. I'm using fixed circulars, Chagus. And yeah, I'm on the decreases now for the opposite side. So pretty excited. This one's been on the go for a while. I haven't been working on it as much just because it is a darker yarn and it's kind of hard to see the stitches sometimes. But now that I'm into the decrease section, I'm kind of more inspired to get it finished because it's so close, and there's other Musselburghs that I want to cast on, so I want to get that one off the needles so I can start another one. So yeah, there's an update on my Musselburgh. She's almost finished. I was kind of hoping to have it finished for the podcast, but it did not happen, which is fine. My cat wants to jump up on the table, the desk. Okay, there we go. All right. So yesterday was my first day back at market for 2026. And that's where I got most of the knitting done on my Musselburgh, actually. They have like super great lighting in there, and the start of the day was really slow. It starts at 9 o'clock to 12. It was really slow, so I had a lot of time to knit. So I was just knitting away, and I managed to get that far on my hat, so I was really excited. But a fellow vendor asked me if I could make her a skull cap, and I was happily to accept it. So she did a measurement of the hat she was wearing, because she doesn't like her hats to be too low. She likes them a Pacific size. And so she took her hat off, and we took the measurements of it, did the circumference of her head and everything. So I have all that. And she asked for either a black hat or a dark green, but she was leaning more towards the dark green. So I had the skein in my stash for a long time. This is an old skein, and I can't even tell you what it is because it lost its label. I want to say it's a Cascade. I believe it's a Cascade, but I'm not entirely sure. But it is a beautiful green. The only thing that I'm curious about is that it's almost like it's a fingering weight or a very fine sport weight, because it's pretty thin, and Cascade is, I don't know if they have a thinner base beside DK. I know they got the Cascade 220 Sport, but I have some of that, and it's spun differently. So I don't know what this yarn particularly is, but it is wool for sure. It is woolly. But yeah, I don't have any details on the yarn, but I am doing the fourth hat by Ysolda Teague. So this is another version. I think I spoke about this before, that I wanted to cast on this hat. This is another version of the Musselburgh, without doing it double thick. So you do start off at the top by casting on so many stitches. And again, just like my Musselburghs, I just cast on the recommended amount of stitches, and I join it via magic loop, and I do my increases, and then now I have it on a 16-inch cable to knit the body of the hat. I don't do any of the fancy cast-ons because I find them fiddly and I don't like that. So I still have my tail here, but I'm just going to use my tail to close up that tiny little hole right there, and you're not even going to know. So it starts off at the top. The fourth hat starts off at the top, just like the Musselburgh. You do your increases. You do it to a certain, I think it's like an inch, inch and a half, and then you're going to measure your gauge. So you can use fingering weight yarn, you can use sport, decay, the even says in the pattern bulky weight as well. So you can use any weighty yarn, any needle size that meets your gauge and the fabric that you like, and then you just measure out your stitches, and then you follow her charts to tell you how many stitches you need per segment, and that gives you, and the sizes. I think there's from child to adult large in the pattern. So it's just like the Musselburgh, except it's not going to be double thick. You're just starting from the top, and then you're going to finish off with some ribbing, and then that's it. So because she wanted her hat to only be so long, I decided to do the fourth hat. That way I already have my crown done, so I know how long it is. So I just keep knitting until I have 7 inches, because the hat is 8 inches total. So I'm just going to do it until I have 7 inches, do an inch of ribbing or whatever I decide on the ribbing, and the hat is done. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I actually get to try out this pattern. So for this one, I'm doing the adult medium because she has a 22-inch head circumference, and it's turning out well. And as, I don't know if I said this, but I am holding the yarn double. So it's giving me a DK weight roughly, because I did not want to do it fingering weight. So yeah, and it's turning out really nice. I am through my increase section now, and I am onto the body of the hat. That's really nice. And there will definitely be more of these in my future. I really like it. So yeah, that is pretty much it, I think. Oh, no, I am missing one more thing, and I don't have it with me. I'm going to insert a picture here. I did finish my friend's sweater. So Ren's sweater is officially finished. This is the Zig sweater by Andrea Mowry. It is a bottom-up construction of a sweater, and it does have color work, as you can tell, but I finished it. It's DK weight. I used Indigo Dragonfly, and I still cannot tell you the colors because I am not that great of a podcaster, and I did not get the names on my Ravelry either. But it is Indigo Dragonfly. All 3 colors are from Indigo Dragonfly, and it was on her DK Matter base. And the sweater turned out really, really well. It fits her amazing. She really likes it. She blocked it out, and she absolutely loves it, which makes me super happy. And yeah, it was a really fun knit. Don't really prefer knitting bottom-up sweaters. That has nothing to do with the pattern. It was very well written. It was just me that I don't prefer bottom up. I prefer working from the top down, but it was a really amazing sweater to knit, and I am happy to say that I managed to finish it last year. I was hoping for that. So it is all done and it is all finished. So that is what I got up to in the past couple weeks. So that is it for the knitting content of it. I'm just going to share a little bit of stash enhancement with you guys, what I got. So if that's something you're not interested in, I totally understand. Thank you for watching. But if you'd like to stick around, I just have a few things that I'm going to share with you. So I ended up getting some yarn for Christmas. I ended up getting some mini skeins, which I don't have with me because I already have them in my project bag with my blanket, my Jelly Roll blanket. So I don't have those with me. But I did receive some beautiful colorways from Gobsmacked Yarns. And this one is my absolute favorite. Look at those gorgeous blues. Isn't that stunning? Merritt is amazing with her colors. Look at that green pop in there. And I think these are going to knit up just like the Blacklight Unicorn socks. or close to it, which makes me super happy. So I got that one. And I was also gifted another skein of Merritts. This one has more pinky purples in it. And then as I said, I made an order with Galt House of Yarn in Cambridge, and I just got me some sock yarn. I did make a decision, a very hard decision. I decided that with doing the markets, I was very blessed this past year to sell a lot of socks. And the only problem is it takes a minute. Even though I managed to knit 52 pairs of socks last year, it takes a minute to knit socks. And I'm also doing amigurumi toys, crochet toys for my table. So sometimes within having a week to get something done for every Saturday, you kind of have to make a decision. What is it that you're going to knit? Are you going to knit on socks, or are you going to knit on, or not knit, but crochet toys? And it becomes overwhelming, and I did get burnt out there in the summertime. So I made the decision to get a sock knitting machine. Somebody had suggested it, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that, because to me, a sock knitting machine feels like it's cheating. You should be, or I feel like I should be knitting my socks by hand. Anybody that uses a sock machine, I have no problem with that. It's just that I prefer to knit my socks by hand. I just prefer that. But having the market, I needed to make this decision because I think it would be better for me. So I got a sock knitting machine. It's a 3D printed one. I ordered it on Christmas Day, actually. So I do not have it with me, but hopefully soon. So I made the decision to do that just because I can't keep up. So I'm not going to be counting my socks this year for 2026 because they're not going to be all handmade, and I don't know how to, unless I just keep track of the ones that I hand knit. Maybe that'll be different. But I do have a sock machine coming, so I decided that I was going to buy some yarn to test with. So I got this one. This is Comfort Wool, Sock and Wool. I think I have used this before and I liked it. This is color number 39679. I think that's the color number. Very pretty. And then I got some Cascade Heritage 6, which is Cascade's version of DK Weight. So I got this pretty color. I love my purples. And this is color number 612. And this is the Heritage 6 hand paints. If I hold it the right way, you guys can read it. Nope, that's not the right way. There you go. And then that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm not going to bother with anything else because it's kind of boring. Let me see, what's this one? Okay, I'll show this one. This one's kind of Christmassy to me, but it might not work up that way. I'm not sure yet. But this is also Cascade Heritage 6. And the color number is 608. So I thought I would just grab a couple skeins of those just to practice with, because I don't want to put my good yarn through the machine, because I've never used a sock machine before. I don't want to wreck my good yarn, so I thought I would buy some cheaper commercial yarns first. I don't know how the DK weight is going to work with it. I've never, again, like I said, I've never used a sock machine before, but I have fingering weight and DK to kind of test out and try. So it will be fun when it does arrive. I'm excited. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you all had a good holiday season. I hope you all are going to have a great start to 2026. It's been great for us. It's freezing here, but that just means more time for knitting and coffee. So that is exactly what I'm going to go do right now. So I hope you guys have a great one. Again, show notes are going to be down in the description box below. And yeah, I will see you guys probably in another 2 weeks. So until then, have a good one and happy knitting. Bye.